Okay, so we are going to review the paragraph plan. First thing, let's look at our assignment. So the assignment says plan and write one body paragraph in which you analyze the use of a literary term in MAUS. So that means I am only using MAUS. I am analyzing the use of literary terms in MAUS. I'm not going to any outside sources. I'm not Googling. This is the teacher seeing what I can analyze. What commentary can I personally make that shows that I am able to see beyond just the plot line? So I've written for you, for example, how is blank used to convey blank? And here are a lot of options, because with literary analysis, you can't just write about juxtaposition. You can't just point that out anymore. You have to say, there was juxtaposition, so what? What did it do? Did that juxtaposition create a certain message? Did that juxtaposition create a certain mood for the reader? Did that juxtaposition show how powerful symbols can be? So you've got to, your analysis has to go somewhere. It can't just be, here's some juxtaposition. So let's look at the paragraph plan. The first sentence, you're making a claim. A second sentence, you've got to set up your piece of proof. And this is the big mistake that all the other periods have been making, is they've just been, bam, here's a piece of proof, but they're providing no context. So all of a sudden it'll say like, she was saying da-da-da-da, and you're like, well, who is she? Okay, so let's pick an example. I've got to pick something from column A, and I've got to write about how whatever it is that I pick from column A, how it has produced anything from column B. So I wrote an example here for you. Spiegelman uses juxtaposition to reveal the power of symbols. All right, so let's use that one. So I've got to plan, but my first thing is my, the point that I'm trying to make. So he's using juxtaposition to show how powerful symbols are. And if I want to be really good, I would say what symbols I'm going to talk about. So juxtaposition of particularly the power of the cats. Okay, so now I've got to find two pieces of proof that are going to show juxtaposition of powerful symbols. So as I'm planning, I've already got my claim, my circle. Now I've got to go to the book and find two places in the book where there was a juxtaposition of powerful symbols. So this is where you are getting your book out and you're looking up something. Please do not pick all the same things that I pick. That'd be very embarrassing. So I'm going to say on page 33, because there's the I am a filthy Jew sign, and it's juxtaposed with the Nazi symbol. So that's a little note that I'm going to make to myself down here. And then I'm going to go find another piece of proof where there's the juxtaposition of symbols. Juxtaposition, and it shows how powerful symbols are. I'm going to pick page 37. Because we've got Polish, on that page. And then I'm going to make a note to myself, because this is how they offended the nanny. Alright, so I've planned very quickly. So now I would start my paragraph. Art Spiegelman uses the technique of juxtaposition to reveal how powerful the symbols of animals are in his allegorical tale, Mouse. Don't forget to underline the title. So now what would be next is, this example from page 33, but I can't just all of a sudden have a quote, otherwise it's going to be confusing. So I have to lead in to my quote. I've got to provide some context. So I may say something like, during their honeymoon, I can't type. Anja and Vladek witnessed the increased power of the Nazis. A cousin was made to sell his business and to carry a sign that said, here's my quote, I am a filthy. Remember, I don't put my period inside, I put it afterwards. Now I've got to elaborate on this. Elaborate on, so what? So what he said this. I've got to also mention juxtaposition because that's the whole thing I'm proving. Behind the sign, Spiegelman has included the Nazi symbol in a spotlight. The scene is superimposed over the powerful evil symbol, thus forcing the viewer to see the two symbols in tandem. This juxtaposition of mouse and Nazi symbol creates, and then I'm going to keep going. Why? Why was it a big deal that these two were juxtaposed? What kind of effect did that have? And then the next thing, lead in to this next quote. Then elaborate on it. And then you're done.